Welcome back to the High Speed Garage. Thanks for Contrast Printing and Riverson Radios for keeping this garage open. Start off the show with some condolences due to the passing of Brownie.
Yeah, a bit sad, isn't it?
Yeah.
Top bloke, Steve Brown, and the Maureen team.
Yeah, he's a legend back in the day of a driver.
Pretty smart bloke too. I've had some conversation. He's one of how normally your older dudes don't want to adapt to younger blokes' ways.
Yeah.
Brownie was one of those blokes you could tell him something as a younger person, and he'd think about it and he'd respond to you and say, "Yeah,
Have a bit of a listen.
That sounds like that could work."
Yeah.
He wasn't stuck in his way. He'd sort of listen to you, and
Yeah, it's good when you can have a good chat with an older bloke. They've already been there and done that. We're still to do it.
yeah,
Shit,
yeah.
I keep thinking I'm young, but
we're getting older, but yeah. No, so condolences to Kerry and Brownie's mum, Maureen.
I was very sad to see that the other day.
Yeah, out of the blue.
Yeah, very. How was your week, boys?
Mine was pretty good. I ended up finding out on Friday afternoon that boss lady had shipped the kids off to the mother-in-law's place
For the weekend?
So, yep.
How fucking
well,
good is that?
Nice dirty weekend for you then.
Friday night, Saturday night. Well, I hadn't organised anything, unfortunately, but had to work friggin' Saturday. But ended up taking boss lady to that Korean barbecue joint in Rouse Hill.
Oh, yeah. It's sick, eh?
Yeah, I haven't been there yet.
Man.
Yeah, I love it.
It's not a big carb meal, so you're just feeding up on the meats and all the Korean shit. Mad desserts as well. Now,
I've been there a few times. The first couple of times we walked past, I thought, fuck, this joint must be impressive because it always, they don't take bookings either, eh?
No.
But there was always a line up at the door. I've been there on a Tuesday and it's still lined up out the door and there's no one in any other restaurants.
It shows it's good.
Yeah. And we thought, we were wandering around there one night with the kids and we thought, oh, we better not take the kids just in case. And then one day we took Toby because I think Alira was at school and we picked Toby up early from daycare or something like that. So we took him there and let him cook his own food and that, and he thought it was awesome. And then we took the kids a few more times after that.
I think it's sick.
Yeah.
Well, I haven't taken the kids yet because, man, it's me and the missus take each other out. It's that's pretty good.
What about the desserts? Did you have desserts there?
Oh, man, they've got a massive ice cream fridge and velvet cake. There wasn't a whole heap more shit there.
What was your favourite ice cream out of the box?
The melon. It's like a honeydew melon, like a green ice cream.
I like the coconut flavoured one.
Honeydew? Is it? Oh, I can't remember. The green coconut, I didn't say anything.
Yeah.
No, there was no
the green one's
one.
the melon one, I think.
Yep.
The coconut one was white. But there's another little ice cream thing in there. It's like
is that the chocolate one?
Fish. Well, there's I think there's a few flavours. There's a chocolate, there's a strawberry, and there's a red bean. And I thought the red bean one was going to be shit, but I had to try them all.
Yeah.
And the red bean one was fucking delicious.
Yeah, I got the red bean one as well. Loved it.
There's actually a shop in Rouse Hill, like a little Indian shop or Korean shop or whatever it is, that sells how they sell all their herbs and shit, and they're like their food. Yeah. If you go in there, it's near Coles.
I know exactly the one you're talking about.
Yeah. In there they've got the desserts in there. I buy them by the box and take them up.
Man and Amanda were talking about going back to that joint and buying it because you can't. We looked at trying to buy it at Woolies because it was that good. Those ice creams were that good.
Yeah,
and you could get sort of close, but you couldn't get that brand. I'm like, I guarantee the rest's going to be shit. This one's going to be sick.
I took a photo of my phone and Googled it.
Yeah, that's what I did.
Well, we were walking past that other shop, and Mallory seen a sign on. Is there an escalator or some stairs or something right there?
Yeah, right opposite.
Yeah, so there's a sign on there with a picture of those ice creams on it. And Mallory goes,
bullshit.
"Oh, look,
that's where it is."
And I was like, I'm going to go into that shop.
Oh man, they've always got cool shit in there because it's stuff that you can't buy.
Yeah.
But they don't put big pricing on it.
Yeah,
like it's actually, it's like
it's
going to
good.
Coles, but it's
like any tile shopping centre or whatever. They've all got weird shit in them.
Yeah. Oh, look, it is different stuff in there. You got to sort of navigate it a bit, but always stinks.
It's aromatic.
Yes, there is some smells
It
coming
doesn't
out of
stink.
there.
It's aromatic.
Ended up taking her out to. She just wanted to go trop for dinner, so the Tropicana, the Wilberforce pub, on the Saturday afternoon, and then
Have you been there since it's been done up? Is that your first time?
I've been there a fair few times, man.
Oh, yeah.
It's a really good job.
If I lived close to the Trop, I'd be there every day.
Yeah, it's dangerous. That was a good crack.
Hope so.
Ended up spending Sunday on the race boat. Actually, pulled my finger out of my ass and
So you finished?
pig's ass.
Fired her up.
I may have made an effort, but not that good. Not that good of an effort. I was speaking to someone today, and like I was lining up my enthusiasm this year to last year. Man, we had the boat completely stripped. Like there's videos of me, Joel, and Mick with a couple of my boys flipping the boat over, and then about a week later, the engine's in, firing up. Man, now I couldn't imagine doing that. Maybe I'm just really lazy at the moment, but I'm really struggling to motivate myself to get that thing going.
I hope you're not motivating yourself.
I'm motivating
There's big titties
myself.
there then.
I do have some boobies. It's really annoying. Every time I go into the shed, I look at the boat and pretty much tell it to get stuffed.
You're pretty much doing it on your own, though.
Yeah.
The boat stays at your place.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's hard.
It does get a little demotivating when you do that, but I'll bet you as soon as you run it, you'll get motivated.
I guarantee it as soon as the thing's ready to go.
Last time I tested mine at Dargle, I come home, I was like super keen, motivated, so I ripped in, I pulled everything off I needed to do to whatever we were changing and fixing it. And because it's been so long, getting it all sort of ready to put back together and lining up the old man to come and Joel to do another test day, I've sort of just bludged putting it back together. Like it's all but there.
Is
there? So and then the longer that goes on, the less motivation you end up having.
It's not that there's no drive per se. Like the drive that I'm talking about is mental drive for me to push myself to get in there.
Yeah.
Like little brother Breton, before he was doing this job, he was home heaps more. But now he's doing huge hours, Monday to Saturday, and so he's getting home. Like he's finishing work at like 7 o'clock at night.
Fuck that.
Yeah.
Right.
So
I try to do most shit myself anyway.
I do a lot of stuff myself. Jason Cook helps me a shitload. Nathan Rickard helps me shitloads.
Only reason I like doing shit myself is because there's some things like you can't do on your own. So then I'll ring Joel up to come around, give us a hand. But what generally happens is we do that one job that you need two people to do, then we just get on the piss.
Yeah. Or just sit there and chat for 2 hours.
We don't keep finishing the boat off.
Yeah.
We just, once we finish that one job, we go get bits.
Yeah. It is.
So
it
unless
is a
I
mental
need
thing.
him, I don't call him around because then nothing gets done.
Yeah, but he's just
talk
take
shit
priority.
for 2 hours.
Yeah.
Oh, fuck, we better go and put this in.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, we better do that.
Yeah, so I went to Aluminium Joint in Smithfield this morning. Did a job over there around directly opposite the job I was going to. So I was pretty
That's
lucky.
convenient.
Yeah. Yeah, I was only thinking this morning I should go and tell boss man I got to go to Smithfield for a job. And then he calls me in and goes, I got to get you to go to bloody Smithfield. I was like, man, I know exactly where the job site was. It was directly opposite the aluminium supplier. So I got a couple of bits. Saw a couple of broken bits in the bottom of the boat. So we're fixing that and making a spacer for the hat. I don't want the hat to sit too high. I like that real short look to it, like Dad's birdcatcher hat. I'm trying to get it really close, but I can't. There's a couple of injectors. The hoses are too close to the barrel valve, so I've got to get it up a little bit, but not. I'm trying to get really close to really close to short. So, yeah, it's exciting. I've got a little bit of pep in my step now. I've just got to keep pushing. And Jason's pushing me along too. He was trying to get me out this afternoon, but mate. Priorities.
Busy on a Tuesday.
Tuesdays are here. How'd your weekend go, Mick?
I didn't probably get up to too much. I watched a bit of the Indianapolis 500 qualifying. We'll get into that a bit later.
Yeah.
I went out to Dargle for the weekend for the vintage motocross expo, and
Yes.
and there was also vintage boats there as well. There's some nice cars there on display as well.
There were some awesome videos that come out of that.
Yeah, we'll probably get into that
Yeah, we'll talk about that in a
a
bit.
bit later. But yeah, there was some cool shit there. Some of them motocross bikes that have been restored, man, they'd be worth some money.
Yeah, one of the
I'm
boys.
surprised some of them even come out of like people's houses. I'd
Well,
leave them on
yeah,
carpeted
right.
floors and shit. They were fucking immaculate.
Yeah, on that, one of the boys that we do work for, big earth moving mob, he's restored his old man's old bike from start to finish, like completely bare bike frame, and then built it up. And I said, "So you racing it?" He goes, "No." He
Yeah.
like, looked at me like I had two heads.
Yeah, yeah.
I was like, "No, like it's a motorbike. Like go and run it. Like don't thrash it." He goes, "No."
Someone was telling me on the weekend. I can't remember the year model, but I'm pretty sure it was like late 80s, like 88, 89 or something. This is something they seen for sale on one of the vintage sale fucking websites or whatever it was, and it was a brand new CR 500
Oh,
88 or 89
Yeah,
model,
right.
still in the box, like the
Yeah,
shipping
right.
container. Yeah, the crate. Never been assembled.
Must have been one of the last
And-
ones then.
And apparently it sold for $120,000
bloody
for a
hell.
fucking dirt bike. A fucking
Would have been about
30-year-old dirt
2 when it
bike.
was brand new.
Mum's partner gets into the XT 500s,
Oh, yeah.
and he's got a pretty mint one. That
Yeah,
he
yeah.
picked up one of the swap meets somewhere, or he knew someone somewhere along the line, and
Yeah, yeah.
picked up for dirt cheap.
Back in the day, it was a throwaway.
No, this was only like 3 or 4 years ago.
Oh, okay.
5 years ago or something. Because he does heap of scrapping and fucks around with all this
Get it
stuff.
off him for next year and we'll enter it in the fucking show.
Oh, no, it's parked up and fucking don't use it.
Yeah, but just,
It's already
don't use
done
it,
up,
but
is it?
Yeah. I think you've got to do a couple of things to it, but yeah.
Just park it in the show. They're all just parked there. Like, there's
Yeah,
a few people
right.
riding their old vintage bikes, but they're obviously not full done up ones. They're
Yeah.
ones that, they've just jazzed up enough to go
Yeah.
ride. But there
I'll have
was
to- I'll
heaps
leave
there
it
just
up.
on show.
I think that's where our sort of passion comes from, like our thought process for our passion comes from. You're looking at someone's bike they've just done up. They've just spent all this time on doing their motorbike up,
Yeah.
and we're looking at it going, go thrash it,
Yeah, yeah.
like use it.
Yeah.
Because we spend all our time, the same amount of time, fixing our race boat.
Building something that we're going to go flog.
Yeah, we're going to
I'd rather use it,
fix
sit
it
there and look at
afterwards.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
So I think that's where that hot rod mentality comes from them to us.
Yeah.
We're still racing. We've still got hot rods, but we want to kick it to us and
Yeah.
fix it. Instead, they want to keep it pretty.
It was pretty good out there. Watching the bikes fang around was pretty cool, and
But
some of the cars.
That's exactly why I can't have nice things.
It made me want to go and buy a vintage bike. I asked a few people how old do they have to be vintage, because I thought, you buy a 2000 model bike that's 25 years old. That's sort of got to be getting close to being called
think so,
vintage,
yeah.
but it's still the 2000 model bike still looks like very similar to what a bike does today.
There's a rule on it to get H plates, and it's not that old.
Yeah, I was going.
Yeah, I think H plates is even less than 25.
I think it's 15.
And
Yeah.
it hurt me seeing an
It'd
NA
have to be-
Falcon with H plates on it.
Yeah,
the
yeah.
other day.
It'd have to be more. Surely it's more than 15.
No, well, someone said to me the track. So they did a flat grass track at Dargle on the riverside of the road for
Yeah, I saw that. That
for
was
the
pretty
vintage
cool, yeah.
bikes. And someone told me, I forget who it was. Someone said to go on the track, you've got to be twin shocked.
Okay.
So you can't have like a monoshock on the rear of the bike. It's got to be
Yeah,
gotta be
right.
twin. So
Certain vintage, yeah.
yeah,
Well, even that, saying that, like some of the Harleys before mine, say 18, 17 models, 2018 models, they're twin shocks.
yeah. But you're not fanging that around a grass dirt track.
I don't know.
It's not off road. Well, fucking get yours out.
No, it's got a shock in the middle.
He's using that as an excuse. He won't even take it to the fucking drags. Sook. Won't take it to the track either. So what does he fucking do with it?
Yeah,
Alright, so,
hang on. I'll get you 30 years old, has to be, for
30.
H plates, for Club Rego.
Yeah, right.
Good old Google.
Anyway, that was my weekend. I watched a bit of footy. I liked that the Bulldogs won on Friday night. That was fucking sick.
We start our new comp this week too. I got to pay me money.
Yeah, who won? Reece won.
Reece
Won
won.
this one. So
It's an actual win this time. They didn't have to split the money.
Yeah.
Fucking sucks.
Good job, Reece.
Anyway, another thing on footy. I heard. Did you hear about like the animal activists that want to change the mascot for the Broncos?
I read something. I didn't.
they
I
reckon
didn't read
it's-
into it, but yeah.
They reckon it's animal cruelty to have Buck the Bronco.
Is that what it was on it?
at the ground, like parading around and
yeah.
shit when they score a try?
Joke.
I was like, how good do you think that horse gets treated? It just sits in the paddock its whole life doing fuck all, and then comes out to the game. And
So they've got a similar one because the Knights had one. The Knights have got the dude running around on the horse too.
The Knights did have one. Yeah, well, he had a bloke sitting on him. This
Yeah.
one doesn't even have that.
Oh, fair income.
It's just a horse there.
Right.
And anyway, they wanted to. That's strange. Like that's not animal cruelty at any stage. But get this, it gets even funnier. So they wanted the Broncos to change their name.
But
So
didn't they
they're not-
suggest the name?
Yeah, the Brisbane Boomerangs. How fucking stupid is that? And you know what's even funnier? You know what a fucking boomerang does?
Kills
Kills
animals.
fucking animals.
Yeah, well, true.
Fucking idiots. That was an old
Yeah,
weapon
right.
to kill animals.
They got no brains.
Bastics.
Ah,
Anyway,
Yeah,
that
right.
was my weekend. I didn't get up too much else.
Yeah, talking about animal activists, I saw Vegan Booty get a fair bit of backlash. I think she's going bankrupt now.
Who's that?
Vegan
fuck's
Booty.
that?
That's that chick over in WA that protests completely naked in the malls.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, like throws blood all over and all
Yeah,
that sort of
right.
stupid shit. Yeah,
fucking retards.
and it's
I went
it's
to...
just a good thing to laugh at, I reckon.
So while we were at Dargle, they had like food vans and shit out there. And I was there like from early in the morning on the sad day. And Mel had to work. So when she finished work, she come straight out. And I thought, well, I'm not going to have dumplings for lunch because Mel likes dumplings too. And I thought, well, we'll just have them for dinner. Anyway, so I got something else for lunch. Mel got out there. I said, let's go get our dumplings for dinner. We walked over there. And they said, oh, we've got no pork ones left. And I was like, oh, fucking damn it. I looked at the other options. There was chicken and cabbage. And I thought, fuck you, I don't like cabbage. The only other option was fucking vegetarian. It's
So
like,
you get cabbage anyway.
I would have given cabbage. I would have given
said
chicken
no
and cabbage
thanks.
a go.
yeah, well, we didn't end up eating it. We ate fucking something else. But someone else said the chicken and cabbage ones were actually not
Yeah.
too bad. But
Yeah, they go right.
fuck your vegetarian one.
Is it Tim Sims or something like that have got cabbage in them, or
Spring rolls.
spring rolls?
Yeah.
Chicos don't, because they're completely
Yeah, meat.
Oh, they're not completely meat. There's probably a fair bit of bone in there as well too, but
A few assholes.
that's still meat. Yeah, it's spring rolls. Yeah, spring rolls are bloody yum.
Fucking love spring roll.
Yep.
Yeah.
So cabbage is actually pretty good.
Yeah, right. Yeah, well, my weekend was just went out to mum's to belated Mother's Day.
Oh, yeah.
Took the kids out there for
Very
their
good.
first trip out to the farm and wandered around, did a bit of walking. And we normally go to the pub, but we didn't go to, well, we did sneak off on Friday and go to the pub.
Accidentally.
Because, well,
Captain fell into the pub.
well, Dave needed some chemicals because there was a dude coming to spray their weeds on all the crop that they've done. And he goes, do you want to come in and give me a hand to get the chemicals?
Yes.
Yeah, no worries. Yeah, we'll come give you a hand. No worries. He dropped me and Brendan at the pub.
I was going to say, is the chemical shop across the road from the pub?
Yeah, it's just down the road. So he dropped me and Brendan. We had a few beers and whatnot. Yeah. And then the rest of the weekend just had a fire and stuffed around in the farm. Did a bit of walking and
Talked a bit of shit around the fire.
talked shit around the fire.
How good's a fire for talking shit
I
around?
love shit talking around a fire.
It's pretty good. We stoked the fire up and it's still running in the morning. The fire inside never turned off.
It's so good.
It was pretty cold out there, but good weather, better than what we've had here.
Yeah, it's been shit.
It was clear skies, clear blue skies, and
Saturday was a fucking beautiful day. Yeah.
I sprayed for weeds on Saturday morning.
Saturday was a fucking gun day.
Saturday afternoon was stuffed.
You couldn't get any better
Shit.
Saturday.
You could watch it driving home over the mountains. You're just like, fucking shit
Yeah,
fight
just
we're coming
driving
into.
crap.
Yeah. But anyways, we'll get into some sport.
This episode is brought to you by Riverstone Radiators and Fabrication in Walker Street, South Windsor, specialising in automotive plant and transport cooling solutions. They can repair copper, brass and alloy radiators and intercoolers. Contact the office on 02 9627 4657. Local pickup and delivery service available to trade customers.
Fucking meow.
Still love that.
Yeah. We'll come across, as I mentioned, Taree and Mid-North Coast, Raymond Terrace.
Couple
The
of
Hunter.
racetracks.
Fucking rare racetracks are all flooded
Yeah.
a fair
Flooded, yeah.
bit with this rain. So
Oh.
you guys keep that up there for the next 2 to 3 weeks. And we'll be able to run Dargle.
Yeah, don't send it down here.
Yeah, I saw the river's actually up to covering the whole pit area at Taree.
Yeah, right.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
shit.
it's getting bad up there. They had, it was further up. They had 500 mils in a ridiculous amount of time. That was
dump.
Mackay or Harvey Bay or somewhere like that, way further north. But yeah, that was on a hill flooded.
No good.
No,
No,
so they've
no
had
good.
some bad rain up there.
Adelaide's cancelled too because of the bad weather.
Adelaide, yeah, they're going to blow them off the map.
Yeah, so yeah, they've canned it just early. By the time you hear this, you've obviously already know. But
Yeah, that came out today.
yeah, cancelled it early so people driving and stuff didn't have to leave and then turn around and go home, which is
Yeah.
good. It's good to make
So
an
all,
early decision like that so you don't muck people around.
all the boats that are going there should be at Dargle. You've got no excuses.
I reckon Dargle should be massive this
Yeah,
year
it
with
should
all
be.
that. Everyone's ready to go.
Everyone's ready to go and we're going to Adelaide, so why not come to Dargle? We've got no reason not to now.
Such a big party at Dargle, though, isn't it?
Yeah,
That's fucking brilliant.
It's just an awesome event. I love the whole
Just the atmosphere of
start to finish.
everything about it.
Yep.
Because everyone's just there. You're not travelling anywhere. You're
Yeah,
just
bugger
you're
all people
staying
go
there.
out.
Sunday night's the best.
it's just shit when it's cold.
It's always cold.
Yeah, but fuck the Dargle fires. You can't beat them.
Yeah.
Well, yeah,
If
It'd
you're
just
getting
be
in the
nice
water,
and-
you've got to
yeah.
have waders with trackies.
yeah.
You just know what the deal is.
You're never cold around the barn.
No.
I'll fucking wear shorts and t-shirt at the barn.
Yeah,
most
it's
of the time.
always a big
Well,
fire.
when I was out there on the weekend, they had some fires as well, but they had the bar and that down where our pit area normally is,
Okay.
in the middle of all the motorbikes and that. So they took the fire pits and that down there and started them down there, and it started raining sort of early on the night. They had old mate singing there with the
In his truck?
yeah,
The same dude, yeah.
and it started raining. And there was people still standing near the fires. The rain was like light, and people still standing near the fire because it was better
Yeah.
than going in and under the tent. And then it started sort of raining a bit harder, and everyone went, "Oh, we'll go inside." And there was like 4 blokes that just stayed out and just kept pumping along to the tunes. There was one Sheila that pretty much had nothing on by the end of it. She
Brilliant.
had like a swimmer top on, and that was it.
Yeah, right.
Yeah,
Good old times.
So that V&V day seemed to be pretty good. I saw a fair few videos coming out of there.
yeah, it was awesome. I don't want to say this without sounding offensive, but the boats weren't my favourite part.
But that's a good thing.
The
It wasn't there for them.
yeah,
Yeah.
your
bikes-
favourite
the bikes
bit
are my
wasn't the
favourite part.
best bit.
The boats, there was so there was a drag boat there. You know,
Reflections, was it?
no, it was
Yellow and-
Thunderbolt, Malcolm Forsyth. You know, the guy with one leg.
That's
know
He's
the
from,
name.
up Raymond Terrace way, I think.
Oh, yeah.
Mainland
He used
or
to do
something.
that couple of runs up the home terrace.
Yeah.
Yeah. I know
Yeah,
what
so
you're talking about.
he did a couple of runs, but I don't think it ever went. Like it never. He clicked into second gear, both runs, but it sounded like the prop was just slipping like all shit. Never really grabbed hold of any water and went fast. It didn't look fast at all. And then the other thing, so I had three blown boats there, and both one of them probably could have went okay, but he was sort of holding it back to 105.
Yeah.
But it didn't look nice on the water. And I spoke to him a little bit after that, and he sort of said, "Yeah, I'm trying to get a boat set up so that when I'm slower, it's kind of comfortable and easy to drive." So he's working on that. The other guy, I didn't really speak to him on or whatever, and his wasn't very quick at all. Like he could have went faster. And then the third one was a flat bottom thing. And when they first put it in the water, they've turned him around and he's fired it up and he's gone to drive out, and he's trying to steer and it's just going like idling, like rup, rup, and it's just going round in a circle from the ramp, and started turning back towards the fucking creek, and he's on the fucking wheel doing whatever.
Quality scrutineering.
And then eventually he's just shut it off, and we all thought, oh, the fucking steering's fucking shit itself or something, or it's not on there or whatever. Next thing we know, he's turned around and they're pointing him back out, and he's fired it up again. We're like, oh fucking hell, what's he think's going on here? And then he's driving off, and then it goes a little bit this way and a little bit that way. I'm like, oh well, he's steering it, so it's not working.
Yeah.
Anyway, then he went up. He did a couple of laps, nothing fast, just slow laps, maybe fucking 40 mile an hour or something. And then when he's coming back into the ramp, I happened to be standing near Dean Barry, and I said, "Did you just watch that? He steered left, and the boat went right."
Oh, fuck off.
Had the steering ass about.
Yeah, right.
So that's why.
What?
That's why it's nearly run up the bank at the start, because he's trying to turn out of it, and it's just turning further and further into it. But common sense
Don't go
tells
back
you,
out.
Yeah, common sense tells you straight away. Even if you do get poked back
fucking
out,
silly.
why do fucking 4 laps?
Yeah.
Turn around and come back. Go, the steering's wrong.
But that's not a scrutineering issue. That's
No,
an
no.
issue.
No,
Yeah.
that's it. Get to the first corner and go, turning right to go left.
Well, you don't get to
Coming
get to the
back.
first corner, as we fucking just
Well,
pointed out.
yeah.
But as soon as you realise that
fucking
it's
dumb.
asked about, just come straight back to the bank. Like, why did he have to do 4 laps?
Yeah, that's fucking silly. He should be pulled up and
He
carded.
didn't go fast at all, because obviously you can't. Because
Yeah.
as soon as you go a little bit quicker than what he was, you have to start
Think about
really fucking thinking
Yeah.
and concentrating. So yeah, he should have just come straight back to the bank. Anyway, it never went back out again after he did that.
I was going to say, he should be
He
chatted.
probably got told, "How about you stay on the bank?"
Yeah.
He should have been chatted for sure.
Well, yeah, he was driving one of the other boats.
Okay.
And yeah, anyway, there was a few races as well. They did a couple of 105 races and some outboard stuff. Brendan Anderson got his hydroplane all repaired and everything and put it on the water.
Oh, yeah, I've seen Ricky posted those photos up today.
We
Oh, yesterday, whenever it was.
Ricky was nearly doing more repairs.
Yeah, right.
It nearly went up the bank. I don't know how it fucking didn't. We all thought that's what had happened. I don't know what happened, because I never went and spoke to him afterwards. But what I think happened, so the first lap he went out, like not the first lap, but the first lap he was going quick. He was going up the back straight, and I watched the left sponson like really float.
Just the left side.
Just the left side, and I thought, oh, he's probably turned a little bit too right there, because he was going up the back straight.
Oh, a bit of a dogleg in it.
You've both raced there. The bank isn't straight. The bank's like got that bend in it, and I reckon from the bottom corner he's just gone a bit wide, so he's still turning left to get past the bank, and then turned right to square back up and go out again. And I reckon he's turned a little bit too far right, and it's floated on that sponson. Anyway, the very next lap, I reckon he's done exactly the same thing, and the fins come out of the water, and it's just fucking looped there on the spot.
Oh,
Yeah, right.
And put up a massive spray, and it was revving and everything, and we all thought, shit, that thing's up the fucking bank, it's into the rocks. Anyway, the spray cleared, and it was still sort of facing the right way. And it was stopped, and we went, oh, you're not at the bank, that's a good start. And then he fired it up and sort
Drove
of
back.
idled off, made sure nothing was broken, like no vibrations and whatever. And then, went up around the top and come back in, and they checked over shit. He went back out another run later in the day and had no issues. So
Yeah, right.
yeah, but it was pretty scary seeing that. I like I said, I don't know whether that's what happened or not, but that's what it looked like from me sitting on the bank. So anyway, if Brendan listens, he can let us know. Let us know what happened.
Yeah, what happened, Brennan?
Maybe he may have broke something. I don't know, but it went back out. So I just
Can't mean
assumed,
too
I
much
just assumed
broken,
he
yeah.
didn't. Yeah.
Because that's the side. No, that was Ricky's boat. That's the side that broke.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, so he didn't have none of the stickers or that back on it yet. So you could tell it was the right side that was that had been repaired. Yeah. Yeah, so they had that, a couple of outboard races, and then
Todd got his boat on the water, didn't he?
yeah, he went in. What race did he go in?
I think they called it vintage and veteran class or something like that.
I don't
Just the
remember.
old
There was a shitload more boats there than what went on the water. Like there was heaps
Just
like,
static.
on display.
Yeah.
There was some pretty nice boats there, hey. But yeah, the bikes were fucking awesome. There wasn't a shitload of cars, but there was a few nice cars.
Yeah, right.
That were nice to sort of look at, and it was probably the cars probably stayed away because it was
Shitty.
meant to be shitty weather
rain, yeah.
and rain and mud and a few of them probably stayed away, but it was a fucking great event, and I think they're planning on doing it again.
From what I read, that was already booked in.
Yeah,
Yeah, I think.
Whatever. I don't know when, but
Yeah, he was talking. I was talking to Bob today. He was talking March next year.
yeah, well, that's when
Yeah.
it was meant to be originally. It was February, March.
yeah,
whenever it was.
It was meant to be earlier.
Yeah, so I'm really hoping I can get our boat down there because it looked like a really good event to get the. Whether it goes on the water or not, just looks like a good event to go and talk shit and.
Yeah, well, I think they're also thinking about with the S1, S2 class, if that sort of starts carrying on, they're thinking about doing like a one from Dargle, like a one-way thing, like go from Dargle to Wiseman's, then from Wiseman's to Sackville, and then from Sackville back to Dargle, or something like that. And there was talk about trying to line that up on the same day as well. So do that sort of first thing in the morning. They can leave, then do some of the races and displays on the water, and then they come back past. And then I don't really know how it's all going to work, but there was talk about that, which would
I don't think they'd be able to do both at the same time because they'd come back quicker than you think.
Depends whether they stop or they don't at one end.
Well, I think from what I got from
talk about being a circuit.
it was a circuit, yeah. So you'd leave.
That's pretty hard to do up a river that far.
Well, not really if you run buoys up the centre and you only got to stick to the right.
Fuck, how many boys are you going to stick up there?
Yeah.
Well, you just got to stick to the right, like you've river rules.
It's a long way from Sackville to fucking Wiseman's.
I'm
It's
guessing
not that
you'd
far.
have to
No,
put. I'm guessing you'd have to put big marker buoys on corners.
yeah.
And you say river rules, but they're not. We're not doing fucking 40 mile an hour. We're doing 105.
Well, up that way, there's no tight corners. Well, there's tight corners, but they're not actually. Well, you got to go past Newell, so you got to be on one side of the river.
Yeah,
That's the only place that you'd have to be.
Is that
strategic.
sandbar still there in front of Newell?
Yeah.
Christ.
But
Yeah,
other
it'll
than
be
that, there's no
complicated
real
anyway.
tight corners that the marker boys hug like there is down our end.
Yeah, but still, you still get boats that are on the wrong side of the river, and unless there's buoys, and then you need people there watching that.
Well, it'll be the same rules as a river race. There'd have to be line of sight for.
Yeah, but
boats.
I mean,
Yeah, I reckon it'd be a lot of effort.
but you'd have.
Oh, it would
you'd
be
have-
100%.
You'd have to put buoys up the centre of the course, and you'd have to go the whole way if you're going to keep it going.
But it can't go from Dargle to Wiseman's to Sackville back to Dargle. Like it's completely different.
Well, it could.
That's 3 legs.
Yeah, so what?
I suppose, but yeah.
It's no different to just doing 2 legs like the double
That's
dash.
just a lot of people.
Yeah, it's just a lot of it's a lot of effort. And there's then you have 3 lots of timing.
Yeah, well,
It's a bit different of point to point thing, but yeah, that's
it's
whatever.
still the same as a double dash. It's just there's an extra bit,
extra timing point.
Anyway, that's what got talked about.
Yeah, no, I love the videos coming out of there, and I was telling Bob today I was getting a fair bit of disappointment watching those videos because I was pretty.
FOMO score.
Yeah. Well, you knew you missed out because you were looking backwards. I was going to use the word FOMO, but it doesn't make sense. So I was looking at, with a fair bit of disappointment.
I suffer
We didn't make
FOMO
it
bad.
there.
That's why I was there.
I'm bad at it.
I was only that I was at mum's and I couldn't be there. Otherwise, I would have the caravan out there on the piss for the weekend.
I struggle watching live streams when I don't go to an event.
Yeah, but I prefer watching a live stream than.
Oh, I've got to watch the live stream,
Yeah.
but when I say I struggle, I mean I want to sit inside the whole day and watch the screen, even though there's no races going on or nothing happening.
Just in
I've got to
case.
sit there and watch it because otherwise I'll miss it.
Yeah.
Like I can't go outside and just mow the lawn for a little bit or whatever, or
That's
do
when
this or
that's
do
when
that.
You put it in your ears. So at least if race is going out, you go, oh shit, I'm going back.
I normally set mine up in the media room, so I can't really attach that to me.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. Anyway, but yeah, that was Dargle.
Getting to the F1. Did you watch that, Chesa?
I've
I was going to
taken
watch
a little
it
bit
this
of that.
afternoon, but I didn't.
Because I didn't watch nothing because I was out at mum's.
Yeah, so Piastri got pole position again. In the race, Piastri and Verstappen were on the start. Verstappen just outdrove Piastri into the first corner.
It was great that
Yeah,
first
right.
corner.
Yeah, and led from there. Like he got there was a bit of sort of swapping and changing during the safety cars. Esteban Ocon, he shit an engine, and then that brought out their stupid virtual safety car. So that means that they're not following around behind a car. They've just got the yellow lights going around the track, and so you can't go over a certain speed. And then a little bit later on, Kimi Antonelli, he retired. His engine shit itself. Did you guys see Kimi
It's not a bad way to
Antonelli?
spend $18 million over shitting an engine.
Oh, it's not a cheap excursion, those things. But I'll tell you what, Kimi Antonelli brought all his mates from school.
I did see that,
on
yeah.
a field day
Oh,
out
yeah?
there.
Yeah, that's pretty sick, eh?
Couple of teachers, couple of kids.
Yeah, nice.
I reckon that would have been the coolest thing you could do. School,
That's a mad school excursion, isn't it?
Fucking oath.
I heard. I was listening to Former Legend this morning, and he was saying it's a bit of a dog act from him because everyone else in the school can't top it.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, beat this. Yeah, that's pretty funny.
Yeah. So
How about sorry to butt in halfway through your thing, but how about fucking Sonoda's crashing?
That's
fucking
decent stack.
Jeez.
And
That's
then
pretty wild, and he ended up starting him in 20th.
Yeah, but he got start.
I read something
They must-
today.
That was the same
Yeah.
crash as someone else done that last year, did they?
Oh, I don't know, but I read something
I
today
heard there
that
was
he was the one that made up the most positions. I think he finished 11th
good on him.
for starting from 20th.
Yeah, right.
So
Fuck, that's pretty good.
yeah,
It's showing that he's really driving that car well. I think it was
until
as much
he
as
went upside down.
as much as we didn't like to see Liam Lawson getting punted backwards. Sonoda's definitely gelling with that car a lot better than Sonoda did. So
Yeah,
realistically, it's better for Liam to sit in that racing bull alongside Hadjar,
Yep.
so they can learn how to drive and not be under that much tension.
Yeah.
And Sonoda, he's been driving for a long time. He
Yeah.
can jump in that seat. Mate, he's driving that thing pretty well.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
I know he stacked it, but mate, he's in the points most of the time.
They always stack it, but someone along the line.
And then you look at Jake, what's his name? Jack Doohan's replacement. He binned it in practice as well. Completely
Oh, really?
canoed it. Yep.
Fucking brilliant.
Yeah. Mick Doohan was posting on book.
I
I seen a few things from Mick Doohan about fuck, just getting rid of people
Be
to pay money.
professional or something.
Yeah.
Like that. Yeah, Mick was up on it. Anyway, so the podium was Verstappen in first, followed by Lando, and then Piastri in third.
Was Piastri asked to let Lando through?
Yeah, look, I reckon he did.
That's fucking bullshit.
Well, the fact that Lando doesn't like letting Piastri through when Lando's on when
You know what? If Lando had a chance of winning the race, more than happy to let him through for team
Yeah.
points. So if he's lapping quicker than Oscar before the finish, okay, let him through, let him have a crack at Max. But then before the finish, if he doesn't get there, should swap back.
he didn't have that good a time, but he was trying to get past early with good tyres. But like, if you're going to take that that strategy, do it bang on that safety car start, so everyone's all bunched up.
Yeah,
Yeah.
by the time he got let through, by the time they told him to let him through,
Couple laps in.
couple of laps in, Verstappen was already up the road.
I don't
by a
mind
fair bit.
letting him through if he thinks he can chase him and he can win, but
But you can only do it at a certain time.
have you go, and if you can't do it,
Bring it back.
just swap back. Unless Lando was winning the championship already. If Lando was already in front of Piastri in the championship, then okay, let him through so we can have the drivers' champion on top points.
That goes back to the question that was asked a couple of weeks ago on them. Who's number one? And they just told you.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. But Piastri is on top, and hopefully
that'll end up costing him a championship.
Yeah, it can.
100%.
It for the first few rounds, it should be just off his go,
All for himself.
let yous go, and then once it starts to someone sort of gets a lead,
he's got a decent lead.
It's got to stay that way, and
It's got within I think he's got 23-point lead. Piastri's got 23 points.
Oh, righto.
But it should stay like, because whenever they swap that, they're taking points off each other, which is helping Max get his drivers' championship
That's
again.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah, look, realistically, with Piastri leading and Verstappen in second, no, is it Piastri in second? I can't remember it's either one, but there's only like 23 points in between. So you want to make sure you got to keep that bloody gap. Keep that gap good.
Yeah, well, the gap could have been a little better, couldn't it?
Yeah, but I'm pretty sure. I reckon it's Piastri, Norris, then Verstappen.
Yeah, it is.
So I think
Verstappen's in fourth.
Oh, the hall monitor is in third, is he?
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
I don't know if you can look it up quick, but
yeah, so it still should have went.
I'll have a look. Keep going. I'll have a look.
Still should have been that way.
Lewis Hamilton qualified in 12th. He raced through to 4th. Leclerc finished 6th. I reckon that's pretty good for Hamilton. Pushing through the field. Good to see. Good to see Albon. He moved into 5th place. I reckon that's pretty good.
Yeah.
That Williams car is obviously not as much of a shitbox as we expected.
Yeah. I've just got it here. Piastri's 146, Norris is 133, and Verstappen's 124, and then Russell's 99.
Okay. Yeah,
And
so it is
Leclerc's
Verstappen.
61.
Maybe it was George in third last.
I think so. I think it
race.
was something because I thought it was weird that Verstappen was in fourth whenever I seen it, but that might have been a couple of weeks ago.
George in Imola, George wasn't even near the podium.
Yeah, see,
That's 5th.
So he's out of the 10.
George would have been in 7th.
Oscar's gap could have been a touch bigger if they reversed them back around. Bigger to Lando and also bigger to Max.
So realistically, they've just sort of kept it close. Look, I'm not a strategist, but look, it is what it is. But
it doesn't change the team points.
It's good to talk about and it's good to watch.
It would have changed the team points if Lando could have caught Max, but like I said, as soon as he couldn't,
you got to drop that back.
Yeah.
If you give the place, you've really got to give it back.
Yeah.
But there's not a lot of that.
And it's pretty much got to come down to who qualifies in front, realistically.
Yeah. I remember there was a couple of years ago they were swapping and changing. If I give you that place, you've got to give it back if I don't make it there.
That just makes sense, doesn't it?
It was happening, but now no one wants to give it back.
As soon as you pass somebody else, then the deal's
it's
off.
all done.
Yeah, the deal's off. If you don't pass anybody else and I'm still behind you, you let me back past.
Yeah.
Anyways, running to the new supercars CEO. Do you know much about
James
him?
Warburton? So he
was originally there 2014.
He left 17.
And he started in 14 then.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, he was the one that put the. I reckon it could have been a little bit earlier because he's the one that put the Fox Sports deal together.
Yeah, I did read that he was good at doing the TV deals. Yeah,
he did a lot of money. Did a lot of money work. Sean Seamer replaced him, and then I can't remember the bloke's name who's in there at the moment. He's sort of stepped back. He's admitted that he was put in there because Sean Seamer stepped back, but he's not of the opinion that he wants to be a CEO. So he's actually stepping back into his old role in the business, and James Warburton is jumping back up again. So James left Supercars and then went to a big advertising mob. You know those the big signs on the side of the bus shelters?
Oh, yeah.
He was doing a lot of that.
Yeah, right.
That big mob there.
Yeah, right.
And then he went to Channel 10, then Channel 7, I think. So each place he moved to, like the Channel 10 and Channel 7, the Supercars deal went to.
Oh,
so
yeah,
he was
right.
putting a lot of money
strings.
through it. Yeah. So he's obviously sort of kept Supercars in a good position, and they've chased him back up. And
It'll be interesting to see what happens with, because there's a lot of people. You look at social media, and a lot of people have lost interest in the sport.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. You need someone that wants to push that
Yeah.
interest.
The
Needs to go
next
back
level.
needs to go back to free to air
I
the
think,
general bogan public back into
I
it.
think the free to air needs to be pushed a lot harder. You need to have, say, the races on free to air, like every race on free to air. But if you want to buy like Foxtel,
you got
you
practice
get
and quality.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
all
all
your practice, all your quali, everything, all your bullshit in between, and all your support races can be on Foxtel.
It's all about the money.
Of course,
the-
it's all
Oh,
about the
yeah,
money,
100%.
The fans don't really pay for the show.
but the advertisements do.
The
So if you're
Yeah,
watching
yeah.
the show and you're watching the ads,
It's the
you
same
have
as
to pay the money.
it's the same as rugby league. It's the same thing. The fans don't pay the money to run the thing. It's the TV deals.
And it's the people watching that get the money.
Yeah.
You just want to be?
Hell yeah.
I'll swap you.
No, we got some more beers. Right, we're getting to the IndyCar quali for the 500.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So I was watching.
Chester
a bit
knows
of
all
that.
about it. So
I was watching a bit of that. There's a fair bit going on. Like when you, as a supercars watcher, you watch all the drivers and how the whole event happens. You then go to Indy 500 and it's completely different. It's pretty exciting, but it drags on pretty bad.
Yeah, I watched
Good
the
crack.
first qualifying, and there'd already been a heap of cars run by the time I started watching it, and there was still 6 hours of qualifying to go. Still
Fuck, yeah,
6
right.
hours.
So as much as
and there'd already been cars out there.
As much as I want to watch every time the Indy cars are on track, like especially for the 500, not watch as such, but listen as if it's on on the radio. You then look at the time that they're on, and it's like 6 hours. Like as you said, 6 hours or
Yeah.
whatever for each event, each session. It's just there's just so much that they do.
but it's individual car on track.
There's
Yeah.
a couple of
Yeah.
cars on
Yeah,
track
there's
at one time. There's not pack racing during practice. No.
Yeah,
That's why it's so long.
yeah.
But I'm looking at here. I'm looking at the results. We're looking at practice 8, which was run on Monday. But practice 1, practice 2 was canned during weather. But apart from that, so that means 7 practice sessions have happened.
Yeah.
Why do you need 7 practice
Yeah, fuck
sessions?
if I know.
I think it's just and then Friday they get carb day as well, which is just another practice session.
Yeah, yeah.
So carb day is from back in the day when they were running carburetors. They
Oh, yeah.
had a fair few hours to get their engines tuned properly before the race.
Yeah, right.
But that's just another practice session, and they'll have another practice session after that.
Yeah, yeah.
Anyway, so I'm not going to worry about any of the practice. Qualification, we got Alex Palou. Now, okay.
So the
that's another
qualification
little bit I
is
was
to
gonna
get
say.
you into the quali.
It gets you into the fast 12,
Yeah.
Yeah.
right? Which is like a top 10 shootout.
Yeah.
They cut it down individually. It's all about the show and
Yeah,
spending
yeah,
more
yeah.
time on TV, right? But they're qualifying on the ovals, on the racetracks. They're timed like a normal
Yeah.
race car over here that we're used to. But on their ovals, they're timed by their distance over time. So it's all about their overall average speed over 4 laps, right? So that as a brief description, Alex Palou, which is the man to beat on the racetracks, has not won Indy 500, and he hasn't really featured in an oval at all. He hasn't won an oval, but he's the man to beat on a racetrack. So
Yep.
that's why he's still the man to beat. obviously they've spent a lot of time getting Alex up to speed on a oval. In quali, he topped quali at 233 mile an hour average over 4 laps.
Yeah.
So we're talking good speeds because you know that there was, in the early runs when their tyres were mad, their speeds would have been higher.
Yeah, you look at the top 3 there. They're all 233.004, 0.013 and 0.043 miles an hour.
Scotty McLaughlin, he got 0.013. Joseph Knew Nothing was 233 mile an hour, 0.004.
Did you deliberately say nothing because he's shit?
No, it's a nickname that stuck in my head from the former legend. He does the Speed Cafe podcast, and I listen to that every time he says Knew Nothing. It sticks in my bloody head from their Penske scandal last year. So that's your top 3. Pato Award got 232.82 mile an hour. Like that,
But that's like 1 kilometre.
like mile an hour. But
No difference. Like if you put it back, it'd be like wouldn't even be 1 kilometre.
It's stuff all.
Not even.
I think that's why they do the time over the distance over time, because if you just do a lap time, it's going to be even smaller.
Millionths of a second. Yeah.
Smaller increments than that. Scotty Dixon, he's been in there since the 90s, late 90s, early 2000s. He was racing at Indy in qualify.
Yeah, right.
It's called Queensland up here. He qualified 5th, 232.659. Anyway, so that's the qualifying. Top 5, Alex Palou, Scott McLaughlin, Joseph Newgarden.
Will Power made the top 10.
I'm pushing through a loop, trying to get that nickname out of my head. Newgarden, Pato Award, Scott Dixon, Robert Schwartzman, David Lucas, Scott Rosenquist, Felix Rosenquist, Takuma Sato, and Will Power, which is a Toowoomba boy. He come in 10th. So then the bit that I wanted to lead into, Scotty was pretty fast all week. Practice 7, Scotty goes out he did 5 laps total. In his 5 laps, he did his 4-lap average. He pulled 233 mile an hour, 233.553. Topped the session in the first couple of minutes and then turned it into a canoe. Completely binned it, destroyed the car. Then he wasn't able to make it out to the fast 12.
There was a guy in qualifying that had pretty much exactly the same crash. It was very, very, very similar on the same corner, same everything. I forget who it was.
I reckon that would have been Herder.
Yeah, maybe.
He qualified. No, it doesn't say.
I was thinking qualified, it'd have to be in the top 12.
That's practice. Qualifying, where'd Herder come in? Wow, back in. Colton Herder qualified in 29th, but that is his backup car. So only had a chance to go out there, no practice, no warm-up.
Yeah.
Go out there, bang on 4 laps, wide open. He pulled out 230 mile an hour, 230.192. I reckon that's pretty ballsy, jumping in a car you've never driven and you're 3 mile an hour off the top.
Yeah, well, one would assume
car.
One is the same
set
fucking
set
car.
up exactly the same.
They're the same car.
Yeah, it'd have to be set up, but, like you've got to trust it.
Yeah.
You would.
You'd have to. Anyway, so, Colton Herder binned it at the start of the session and then got out at the end and he cleared.
McLaughlin's crash was a violent one too. Like,
Yeah, it was fucking
they
good.
got Kevlar tethers that hold the wheels on, so the wheels don't
tore a
fly
couple
into the
wheels
crowds and that. And it actually broke the tethers holding the wheel to the car. So that shows you how
Yeah, that's
violent
the tyre that hit the wall.
I'd say it
The
probably
right rear it was.
would have been, yeah.
Yeah, it didn't look like
We hit the wall first, I should say.
Didn't look like a very together car at the end of it. It was fair bit.
Well, the
Pretty
left,
together for hitting it at 230
the left
mile an
rear
hour.
hit the wall first.
yes, for
Left rear hit it,
Yeah,
did
the
it?
left rear hit
for
the
the
wall
speed he
first.
did, but yeah, it was pretty hurt. So then,
Next one over.
yeah, so that practice 70 binned it. That was before the top 12 shootout, their top fast 12. Felix Rosenquist topped that at 232.5. Pato Award in second, 232.1. Robert Schwartzman, 232.008.
Yeah.
Now, I will say Robert Schwartzman, he's a rookie on this track with Prema Racing, which is a this is the first time they've ever been. This is the first year they've ever been in IndyCar, so they're all fresh.
That's not
to
too
all
bad.
this.
Yeah.
I seen McLaughlin give him a rap after qualifying.
So he should. It's a
Yeah.
pretty good go. Scotty Dixon in 231 in fourth. Alex Pillow 231.8. Radio. So the next bit that I was going to talk about is the Fast Six. Robert Schwartzman, we were just talking about him being a rookie and the team being a rookie. He is a Russian, as far as I heard, Russian-born Israeli racing for an Italian team in America.
Yeah, nice.
He knows his way around the world, doesn't he?
There's a few different bits.
I bet he's fucking good at geography.
Well, he's been there, done that. He was an F2 podium. So the year that Oscar Piastri won the F2 championship, Robert Schwartzman was second place.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Ken Steer.
Yeah, so he knows what he's doing.
Obviously, the
Clearly.
F1 table is a pretty difficult thing to get into. So he's jumped in with Prema and they've started racing Indy. He ended up putting the Boston on pole in the Fast Six.
That's not bad for a rookie, eh? Against some of those big names.
Yeah.
But it was a bit of a...
So I was going to say, even at the top, sort of the big names aren't even at the top.
Yeah, it's a real mixed bag. So Takuma Sato got second place with 232.4. Pato Award got 232.0. Scott Dixon in fourth, 232.0. Felix Rosenquist in fifth, and Alex Pillow in sixth. I would have expected like Alex Pillow to actually be further up because of what the effort they're doing.
Yeah, there's a couple that
His
I've
average
seen
speed's a bit slow too. Like they're obviously fucking wearing out something, or it's the track conditions
Different-
were
different
shit.
weather.
Yeah, weather.
Yeah.
Different
weather,
tracks.
weather
They're
would be the...
dealing with a lot of wind. Now, the cool thing about the Indianapolis 500, they only have a certain amount of
Starters.
that can run in it, right? So they've got 34
Entries.
entries, and then you've got 32 starters. That means that the top five, the bottom five out of qualifying race for the bottom. So they call it bump day. So the same day as top six runs, they run bump day. Marco Andretti got in. Marcus Armstrong got in. He's a Kiwi. He was having a real struggle. He's actually usually pretty fast. This is not his first year.
That bloke got 2 goes at it, obviously.
No, Rennis VK, he went out there, did a shit run.
Went, fuck it, change cars.
And then, no, he didn't change cars, but he changed setup and then went out and did it again. He said, I reckon I can do better. The problem is, him going out and doing better knocked out his rookie teammate, Jacob Abel.
How's he in third with a shit fucking...
Yeah.
He made it in. So it's obviously top five. It must have been top four, but Rennis
his
VK did
times
2
are around
runs.
the wrong way. His speed's 26 to 27.
227. Yeah, but that's his 2 runs, obviously.
It should be around the other way.
Marco Andretti, 229.7. Marcus Armstrong, 229.0. Renus VK, 226.9 and 227.7. And then Jacob Abel got 227.1. So they were pretty close, but unfortunately one had to get knocked out. So Jacob Abel got the knockout. After just before qualifying, it was found in the in scrutineering. Penske's got picked up. Now Scotty's canoe was looked at, and they found that the issue wasn't there. They hadn't done anything with it. But the number 2 and the number 12 car, which is Joseph
Power.
Newgarden and Will Powder. So the problem that the whole scandal is on the attenuator at the back of the car. So they call it like a crash structure or like a cowboy pad or something like that. You know, it's on the back of normal cars as well. That big, the big honeycomb piece behind the rear bumper.
Yeah, crash bar.
It's like a crash pad. Like that's what it is.
Just a foam absorber.
Right. So it's just there to absorb the impact if they back it into a wall. Right. So what they found is it's got a bit of seam sealer around it. So obviously we know, like when you're talking about air and stuff like that, you want the air to be smooth over everything. It's a rough edge where the attenuator joins onto the back of the car. So all they've done is just put a bit of silicone around it. Now they say that it's a safety device, so you can't modify it. In my opinion, if you put a little bit of silicone around something to seal it up, I can't imagine that. Yes, it's going to help you.
It would have heaps in that.
You don't know what that does to the integrity of the actual piece.
You wouldn't think it'd touch the integrity because silicone's not going to be anywhere near as strong as.
It doesn't have to be strong.
It can eat in. It probably can eat into it.
It depends on the material.
It might be stronger than like its crumple perspective.
The crumple perspective, it's where it joins to the car.
Yeah, that's what I mean. So it might fold out that way. Like as it gets rammed, it might fold out that way, but now it can't because
You reckon the silicone and hold it that much?
Shit, yeah.
Good silicone.
Tear off. Well, you wouldn't put good silicone on it.
Depends how it's designed to crumple and where the silicone is.
But that's what the
There's obviously a real reason for it.
That's what the scandal is. The rule is that you're not allowed to modify it. And I wouldn't have sort of thought maybe we're talking about something different, but I wouldn't have thought that that'd be considered.
Well, it is modifying it. You're changing it. It's written in the rules. You're changing it.
Yeah,
you're changing the design.
I'd be interested to see what other cars are doing because there's a fair bit of noise about it, and then it was no different to the car owners aren't really making that much noise.
It was no different to the supercars the other week with those blocks.
With the shell car,
yeah.
There was heaps of teams.
That's right.
Doing exactly that. Then they've gone, oh shit, we better change that.
Yeah, we better shut up.
They just got busted.
Yeah.
Everyone's pushing the limits.
That's how I see it.
You're trying to find something.
That's the pushing the limits bit.
They're trying to find a 0.001 of a mile an hour.
Yeah, and I can guarantee you, most cars down that pit lane would get picked up on something. Just they're cheating better. American racing is all about cheating better.
Oh, 100%.
But that's what NASCAR was built on.
Some of them, they're all probably doing the same thing,
just different.
It's just
hidden.
No, even the exact same thing, but it doesn't get looked at.
That's right.
No one's checking it because they're not thinking of it.
And
then all of a sudden, one car gets busted for it. Everyone else down the pit lane goes,
they would have been scratching it all off.
We better change it.
Yeah. So Power's car got done. He didn't get done. It got seen. So the scrutineer found it just before qualifying, and he looked at it and he's like, "Oh, that's a bit weird," and then sent it, and then saw Newgarden's car, had a look at that, and he's like, "That ain't right. That shouldn't be there." And then he's gone and checked the rules and said, "Oh."
I was going to say he would have asked someone.
Yeah. So confirmed the rule, and then they went and had a chat to Penske, and Penske said, "Well, fuck it. No, we'll pull them both cars from qualifying from the top 10, top 12." And since then, so that was yesterday, I think it was, and then today they've actually been put right to the back of the field.
Yeah, right.
So Newgarden and Power are locking out the back row because Scotty canoed it. He had already made it to the top 12.
Yeah.
So he qualifies at the back of the top 12.
And his car was fine.
Yeah. Well, because it had already gone to tech.
They didn't get to see it.
I was going to say smashed off it. Yeah.
that piece had already gone to tech, and they reckon they'd seen that it was fine.
Yeah, fair enough.
Look, it's really disappointing. I'm sort of a Penske fan, but I'm more a Scott fan, and it's disappointing to see them dealing with that shit. I sort of went through that same shit with Bathurst a couple of years ago. And
Yeah.
like the Bathurst one really put a bad taste in my mouth because, like, as much as I loved seeing Scotty win Bathurst, watching what happened completely dirtied those waters. I really
with
Fabian
yeah.
going
I did talk about that on
really
some
slow.
other podcast.
Yeah, on the Apex Hunters podcast.
Oh, yeah.
But like the media, not the media, the public really went after Penske after that. Like, yeah, you see a bit of bullshit on Facebook, but like having the top dog, Ryan, what's his name? Ryan Story at the top of Penske, getting top of DJR in Australia, getting people saying they're going to kill him and shit like that.
Oh, that's bullshit.
I think that's fucking dirty.
Yeah.
You try and threaten a human being like that. Yeah, they've done the wrong thing. You don't threaten their life and their family's life. And
those people that threaten them, they're probably fucking nobodies anyway.
Yeah, they're just keyboard warriors.
They're probably not even that. It's probably some fucking Indian scammer.
Oh no, it would have just been some pissed off golden boy.
Yeah.
But I don't care who it is. You don't say that shit. And I can guarantee Penske's dealing with that shit over there as well. I don't like cheating. I 100% don't like cheating. That's why I'm happy doing an unlimited race.
Because you can't cheat.
You can't cheat.
There's no rules.
When you open the book, that's it.
I can
go as fast as you can with the cockpit.
With our boat, I can do whatever we want. Yes, we're not.
No, they changed that.
Oh, did they?
Yeah.
Oh, you don't have that rule anymore?
No.
Like, you can do whatever you want. I'm not at the front, but it means that I don't have to limit myself in the certain ways that I can afford to limit myself. It's all out.
Yeah.
And all this set racing like this, I think it'd be how quietly you can cheat.
Oh,
That's 100%. How I see it.
Yeah, easy. Yeah. Anyways.
It's not necessarily just cheating. It's more just,
bending the rules.
Yes, reading around the rules how you kind of can to, do your best shit.
Yeah.
Anyways, we'll move on from that.
What are we up to?
We'll go some guest questions, and we actually have one this week.
Oh, we got one.
So,
who's reading it
out? It's a recording.
Oh, it's a recording too.
Very good.
You're onto it. So, I'm pretty confident this is going to work straight away.
Boats.
Hi, High Speed Garage team. It's Lola from Lower Portland, and I've got a question for your next podcast. Prior to entering any race meeting, would you message the club and ask them what prize money they were paying on certain classes and certain trophies before you submitting your entry to that race meeting? Look forward to your responses. Bye.
I just want to say that's a well-recorded message. There's nothing to pick on
very
there.
well.
I couldn't hear no wind, no foreign noises, nothing. That's how we like to hear them.
Very well.
I could tell exactly who it was.
Oh, I think everyone knows who it was.
Thank you very much, Lola from Lower Portland, for that question.
But personally,
go.
I wouldn't ask.
Nah,
I'm going to race. I'm not racing for prize money because it's like fucking $2.
I completely agree.
Yeah, I'd never ask.
I'm not gonna ask. I'm not gonna.
You know why I'd never
be
ask?
fussed
Because I don't win, so I'm not going to get it anyway.
Well, that's true too.
If you're running around at the back, you're not getting it anyway. So who cares?
Yeah.
Like, I love prize money when it turns up. I haven't got it yet, but I don't think it's going to make any difference to me racing if I turn up and get good prize money or not. Yeah, it's helpful, but I ain't going to pay for a drum of fuel.
We don't race for money. But you'd be lying if you said
I didn't want it. Yeah,
you didn't. You wanted to race for no money.
Yeah, you don't tell your boss, "Don't pay me this week because I enjoyed it."
You don't need to know everybody's opinion. You can see it by what actually happened. If people weren't racing for money, you'd see heaps of boats at club days.
Yeah, just doing circles.
Club days would be loaded. You'd see heaps more. Racing wouldn't be a problem getting boats to turn up.
Yeah,
I like
prize money. Definitely drags people around.
I do like prize money, the idea of prize money, but I can almost guarantee you most of the time you get prize money, it's not going to cover what you've paid to enter
it doesn't.
and put fuel in your boat, let alone
But it helps.
spending all the money. You don't need it, but it helps.
Yeah.
It's not going to cover the money you spent turning up to the event or fixing something you broke or making it faster so you can win.
No, but what it might do, it might cover your fuel bill for the weekend.
It's going to help.
It might cover your travel costs to get there. It might cover your hotel room if you're lucky for the weekend.
But you're not going to turn. You're not going to not turn up if the money's not as good.
No,
are you?
No. Well, some people do
because you want to spelt the event.
Some people do. That's what I'm sort of pointing out. If that was the case, then your club days should be loaded with boats all day, every day.
Yeah.
And they're not, because there's no prize money on club days. And that's why your smaller clubs that don't pay a lot of prize money, you don't get as many boats turning up. Whether people agree with that or not, I don't really care, because the proof's in the pudding. You can see it.
Yeah.
You see people don't turn up to ones that don't spend lots of money. On that though, like I would never ask, because, like I said, I run last, so it doesn't fucking matter. But there is a rule in the rule book that's been there for a while, and I'll hang on, give me a second. I'll read it out properly, so I don't just mess it up. So, Rule 101.13, where a C1 and C2 category event has prize money payable on finals run and listed, the club or council conducting the event is to advise the secretary or council secretary and competitors, if requested, 7 days before the event being held. The listing must also be presented to competitors at scrutineering. Failure to pay advertised prize money and or tow money on events/races will result in a suspension of future sanctions.
So if you're asked and you don't tell...
So if you are paying prize money and someone asks you, you have to tell them. Or it's also, that's only a competitor. And that's only 7 days before, like within 7 days of the event. Before...
But you've got to be entered well before 7 days.
There's no requirement to say maybe, or if you ask, to send it to the secretary or the council secretary, and it says it has to be presented to competitors at scrutineering.
How long's that rule been out? I've never heard of
It's
that.
been there for a while.
Yeah, I remember it a while ago.
I can remember it.
I've never heard anyone
I don't know why I
mention
remember
prize
it, but I do remember
I
it.
can remember when I was a kid, everyone used to say how good St. George was, because not for the money that they paid, like the amount of money that they paid, but it was all listed on their program. So St. George programs, when you got them in the morning to, like, before the racing started, it would have all their races listed throughout the day, race 1, 2, 3, and beside each one, it would have the amount of money that was on that race. And people used to like that idea. And then I don't know how or why it happened, because obviously I was too young for that. I just remember that being a thing. And some people obviously liked that, and it got put into the rule book. Now, it's never been done. I've never seen the amount of prize money that's on offer be advertised, unless it's like a big one-off race.
Yeah.
Like, you know, the Thurger or the Liberty the other year when they had the $10,000. You know, that's the only time I've seen the prize money for Liberty advertised, when it was the big money. Other than that, I never knew. And not that I really cared either, but yeah, I just wanted to point out that there is an actual rule in there that doesn't get adhered to.
No. Well, I can guarantee there'd be a lot of rules that don't get adhered to, but...
Oh, there is. Don't get me started.
Like, don't get me wrong with prize money. Like, I like that it's there. I'm not saying that it shouldn't be there, but you don't stop racing because it's not there. That's sort of what I was getting at.
No way. No. I do think you are a bit of a weirdo if you need to ask
Yeah, for prize money.
if you're having prize money or if you're not having prize money or
Yep, there's $50 on this race. Oh, no worries. I'll pay me $350 entry.
that's generally how it goes, isn't it?
Oh, it's not $50. Fuck that.
It's sort of how it feels, though, isn't it?
Don't worry about this $300 a drum of methanol.
Yeah.
You'll
No, $450 now.
you'll probably find the people that ask those questions don't make it to the finish.
Yeah.
Maybe not.
They don't get what they were asking for anyway.
Oh, yeah.
Anyway.
Hopefully that was...
Thanks for your question, Lola.
Yeah. We'll see you at the next race meeting.
Lola.
Come and say hello. We'd like to meet you.
Any other questions? Is that
No, that was it. One and only.
Well,
Get your questions in, guys. We like them. Do you want to know how to? Do you want to run through?
Yeah, I'll
how
run
to do
through
it,
it.
Joel?
Righto. So every phone has a voice recorder in it. Type in your search bar, voice recorder, and it will come up as an app.
Even if it doesn't, I'm pretty sure every
Or,
single
or,
phone does,
or download
but even
a
if it
voice
doesn't, just
recording
go to
app.
your app store and download one.
So then you hit it, record it, and then send it to the High Speed Garage podcast at gmail.com, and we'll get it.
Yeah, it's pretty. Even if the beauty of the voice recording one too, if you can record it once, and if you go, oh, that sounds a bit weird or whatever, or I've got a
yep, you can
Or there's
fix it
something in
up.
the background
truck in the
or whatever.
or something. You just do it again
Yeah.
and do it again. You might have to do it 10 times.
3/4 of the time, you will forget that there's no blinker in the background, and you need to record it again with the blinker on.
So yeah,
Yeah.
just
That's the way to do it. I had when I was at Dargle, I had a couple of people ask, how do I do the voice recording thing? What is that? How does it work? So I sort of I explain it like that. But if we say it here, everyone can hear it.
Yeah. Yeah, you can either if you record it and you can't work out how to get it out of your recorder into an email, but you can work out how to text it to one of us and we'll send it through that way.
Yeah.
But get it voice recording and
or messenger,
through to us.
whatever. But
yeah,
If you haven't got our number,
the
find
emails,
it.
email's a lot easier.
it is significantly better
For us
listening
anyway
to
on
your
this
voice
end.
instead of ours.
Yeah,
You
heaps
hear
better.
ours
Yeah.
enough.
You
But-
can ask your question properly.
Yeah,
We're doing this shit on the fly.
but it's the High Speed Garage podcast at gmail.com.
Yes.
Well said.
No.
Yeah. We also had a post put into the HSG pit stop by Tommy Sawyer. He's asking, well, not asking, he's just saying it's good seeing all the different engine packages, like with the Barra and whatnot. He goes, how long until we see supercharged rotary? And he posted a video of one.
That was a Kiwi one, wasn't it?
Yeah. And I reckon that superchargers want to be pretty good because fuck rotaries rev.
Yeah.
So you just got to gear them right.
So they'd be just 1-to-1.
There's a bloke that I know. He's got a capsule Evercraft down in Melbourne. I don't think he's from Melbourne. He's got a pretty shit-hot quad rotor built. He's just waiting for repairs to be done or modifications to be done on the boat before it goes in. But I've got a fair idea. Whoever built the engine is some shit-hot rotary engine builder.
Yeah.
I've never seen a rotary on the water, but over in Kiwiland, they've got one, and I've heard it's freaking awesome.
Yeah, right.
A
In
little,
a jet sprint.
I think it's a jet sprint boat, yeah. I saw it on the bank at Carapiro a couple of years ago when I went over there with Greg Banks. I never saw it run. It wasn't memorable enough to run to remember it.
I always worried about the torque.
Well, you've got to make it rev. And if you get
where the
bogged down in the
supercharger
corner,
comes in.
Yeah, but would the turbos work better
I think
because
the
they rev?
turbos are better for
I was going to say, I don't think I've ever seen a supercharged rotary. Not saying they don't exist or anything.
well,
but
obviously the
pretty
Kiwiland's
much-
got one.
pretty much every rotary you see, if it's not, just
If it's not
NA,
NA, it's turbo.
turboed, yeah. Which probably does make that a little easier, I suppose.
You're only pushing exhaust gas. You're not trying to spin something.
But I'm
I don't
guessing-
even really know. I don't really understand rotaries. I don't know. I know a little bit, but I don't know. I don't even understand how it pushes the exhaust gas and all that sort of stuff. Like obviously,
I did
Yeah.
work on them when I was in the Mazda shop, but They're just a seal.
Yeah.
That
Yeah,
just spins fucking round and just
I've never
does.
really got into them.
It's just
obviously
magic.
with an ice
Yeah,
engine.
it's just a big magic Dorito.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, obviously, like with an ice engine, you've got the piston pushing
Going
Yeah.
up and
pressure
down,
out the exhaust pipe. Like, I don't know.
Well, so the benefit of a rotary over a piston engine is a piston engine, you've got a big lump of aluminium going up and down.
Yeah,
It's being pushed up and then pulled down, where a rotary is just a constant rotating mass.
Yeah.
So that's why it can rev up so much easier. It doesn't have that rotating mass stopping and starting all the time.
It'd still have to have some kind of force going back the other way to try to slow it down, like on combustion and stuff, surely.
No, I don't think so.
I know they run like a twin plug thing to start a burn here and then it starts it round there a bit further, but like if you're expanding gas in there, it's got to go both ways. Like it doesn't just keep following the wheel.
Yeah, it
Well,
does.
I
No,
think
it
it does
does.
because the next seal keeps pushing it round.
Yeah, so the exhaust gas pumps out of one and then
Is it like a two-stroke type deal?
Sort of like that. Man, I haven't played with the rotary for a lot of years, but I remember all these things in my brain. Like when I was at TAFE, I can watch the cartoon, but man, I couldn't describe it.
Yeah, right.
If you have a look on the Googles, you'll find a heap of information. They are a pretty shit-hot engine, but
I think there was
I've seen a whole heap turn into a big lunchbox.
Yeah, well, apparently they don't like detonation at all.
No, you've got to
Yeah,
do it.
right.
Like our internal combustion engines, you can get away with a small amount of detonation for a small amount of time, but a rotary engine, you get one split second of detonation and it's totaled.
Back foot.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Back foot.
Yeah, fair enough. Well, it'll be good to see if that actually does come out then.
Yeah, I think there's someone else that was gonna run one at some point, because when I first started going to the national meetings, there was a lot of conversation about, you know, how if you run like a forced induction, you multiply the engine capacity by 1.7,
Yeah,
1.4, or whatever the rule is to get into a capacity class. Well, they scrapped that, but they left the multiplication factor in there for a rotary.
Yeah, right.
So if you've got like a 13B, which I think is like, they call it 1300 cc's, you times that by your 1.4 or something like that, and then that's your size. So if you have a, like times, I'm
What did we
not
say,
doing the
1.5
calculator.
rule or whatever it was?
Yeah, it's
1.4
changed,
or
it's changed a few
1.7.
times. It's changed. It was 1.7, there was 1.4, but if you times like 1300 by 1.4, that comes out to be
1820.
Yeah, so that's still under 2 litres. Then times that 2 litre by 1.4 with a turbo on it, it's only like 2.5 litres. So anyway, I don't know, but yeah, that was getting talked about. That rule, that multiplication rule, was getting talked about. So I don't really know.
Even still, I don't think it was 1.4. I'm pretty sure they stepped at 1.7.
Yeah, 1.7 is even less. Oh no, it's not. It's
That's
more.
more.
Yeah, it's more.
It's got to be more.
Yeah, I think it was 1.4 when we had.
It was 1.4 when we had the turbos, and they changed to 1.7 when we
Yeah.
kicked everyone's ass down the first shoot and then didn't finish the race.
Yeah, but now they've scrapped it all together. But the rotary one's still in there.
So that's 3 point.
Yeah, so it's still
7.
well under all our classes.
Yeah.
So,
So all that sort of stuff, like you're still able to go and race in 5-litre Australian titles
Yeah,
Yeah.
with something that should be pretty shit hot.
yeah.
And you do it, and then they'll ban
They'll
you.
ban it. Yeah, you do it once and they'll ban it.
You
Like,
can't ask for an
realistically-
exemption because they'll still go no.
Yeah,
we'll
but
ban you.
the thing is, like, you're trying to get an exemption to race in a class that's already running. And 5-litre class, yeah, it does need some help. But,
Well, you're not getting an exemption
need-
because
you
the
need-
rule's there for you to do it.
yeah, I know, but as soon as someone does it, that's what Joel's saying, as soon as someone does it, it's going to turn into...
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we've seen
Complaints.
that happen.
Yeah.
So, yeah, see what happens. Anyways, right, we'll get into... Got a meme of the week.
Hayden can go first.
What has 148 teeth and holds back a monster?
I don't know.
My zipper.
Jesus.
What is the best water slide for kids?
1 that's outside.
Your throat. What has 148 teeth?
That's gross, Hayden.
Fucking hell.
Yes, it was.
Brilliant, but
All right. Have you got one, Joel?
nah, I don't have anything this week.
All right. Here's mine.
Bob came home drunk one night, slid into bed beside his sleeping wife, and fell into a deep slumber. He awoke before the pearly gates where St. Peter said, "You died in your sleep, Bob." Bob was stunned. "I'm dead. No, I can't be. I've got too much to live for. Send me back, please," St. Peter said. "I'm sorry, but there's only one way you can go back, and that is as a chicken." Bob was devastated, but begged St. Peter to send him to a farm near his home. The next thing he knew, he was covered with feathers, clucking and pecking the ground. A rooster strolled past. "So, you're the new hen, huh? How's your first day here?" "Not bad," replied Bob the hen, "but I have this strange feeling inside, like I'm gonna explode." "You're ovulating," explained the rooster. "Don't tell me you've never laid an egg before?" "Never," said Bob. "Well, just relax and let it happen," says the rooster. "It's no big deal." Bob did. And a few uncomfortable seconds later, out popped an egg. Bob was overcome with emotion as he experienced motherhood. He soon laid another egg. His joy was overwhelming. As he was about to lay his third egg, he felt a smack on the back of his head and heard his wife yelling, "Bob, wake up for fuck's sake! You've just shit the bed!"
I knew that was coming. I still loved it.
Oh, that's fucking brilliant.
He's laying the chocolate eggs in the bed.
All right, we'll wrap her up anyway.
Thanks for listening again.
Yeah.
Thanks
Don't
for putting
forget.
up with our shit.
This one's probably a bit long, so we're sorry. Not sorry.
Sorry, not sorry.
Just listen. You just love it.
Don't forget to find us on the socials, YouTube, Instagram, Facebook. Head over to the HSG Pit Stop group where you can chuck videos and whatnot in and we can all have a chat about it and see what's going on in the motorsport world and all whatnot. So, yeah, send your questions in to the High Speed Garage podcast at gmail.com. If you haven't heard that this episode, well, open your fucking ears. So, yeah, right up. We'll see you later.
See you later.